Have you ever wondered if biblical prophecies can have relevance in our current reality? Can the words of Jesus in Luke 21 verses 23 to 24 shed light on the turbulent times we are living in? In this video, I invite you on an intriguing and revealing journey into the heart of the Great Tribulation, a concept that has puzzled believers and scholars throughout history. But beyond uncertainty and fear, there is a profound message of hope in the midst of tribulation. Today, we will unlock the meaning behind the words of Jesus, exploring their historical context and their applicability to our world today. Prepare yourself for an enlightening and moving experience. Over 2,000 years ago, in a time of turmoil and upheaval, Jesus walked the dusty streets of Jerusalem. The historical and literary context of Luke 21 is essential to understanding the words he spoke at that moment and their relevance in the Bible. To understand Luke 21 verses 23 to 24, we must delve into the tumultuous history of Jerusalem in the first century. At that time, the Jewish people were under the dominion of the Roman Empire, a presence that generated discontent and agitation. Political and religious tensions loomed over the holy city, and the prophecy of Jesus was set against this backdrop of conflict and anxiety. Now, why did Jesus choose these words? To comprehend this, we must remember that Jesus did not speak in vain. His words had a purpose beyond their time and place. By referring to Jerusalem, he connected with the rich prophetic tradition of the Old Testament, highlighting the importance of the city in the divine plan. Isaiah, a revered prophet in the Bible, had previously spoken of Jerusalem and its destiny. Jesus, as a devout Jew and the promised Messiah, understood the significance of these passages. In referring to the Great Tribulation, he was giving a place to the scriptures and revealing a prophetic vision of what was to come. As we explore the historical and literary context of Luke 21, we cannot overlook the hope that Jesus offered. Despite the turmoil and the prophecy of tribulation, his message is not just one of desolation but of redemption and salvation. Faith and hope in God are a constant thread in the Bible, and this is also applicable to our lives today. So, as we embark on this journey of understanding, let us remember that the words of Jesus not only take us to the past, but also provide a guiding light in the present. Join me as we delve deeper into the Great Tribulation in Luke 21 verses 23 to 24 and its significance in our lives. As we delve deeper into the passage of Luke 21 verses 23 to 24, we encounter the signs and wonders that Jesus mentioned. These elements raise intriguing questions. What do they mean, and how do they relate to biblical prophecy? Jesus speaks of signs in the sun, the moon, and the stars, as well as distress among nations with perplexity. These words have puzzled generations, but if we examine the Bible, we discover that celestial signs are a recurring motif in prophecy. The Bible uses celestial bodies as signs of significant events in the divine plan, from the darkening of the sun at the time of the crucifixion to the stars that marked the birth of Jesus. The signs in the heavens and on earth are bearers of a spiritual message. The words of Jesus in Luke 21 verses 23 to 24 are related to the prophetic visions of the Old and New Testaments. The Bible is filled with warnings and predictions about cataclysmic events leading to a new beginning. Throughout history, many have attempted to interpret the fulfillment of these signs, some seeing reflections in historical events such as the destruction of Jerusalem in AD 70. However, whether these signs are still relevant in our times remains a topic of debate. Regardless of how we interpret these signs and wonders, it is important to remember that the Bible offers an enduring message, inviting us to reflection and reminding us that even in the midst of turmoil, there is divine guidance and hope that sustains us. So, as we continue to explore the depths of Luke 21 verses 23 to 24, let us keep in mind that the signs and wonders can serve as a reminder that faith and trust in God are a beacon amid any storm. The Great Tribulation, a concept that has intrigued believers and scholars throughout history, is a central element of Jesus' words in Luke 21 verses 23 to 24. But what exactly does this concept mean, and how does it unfold in the biblical context? The Great Tribulation evokes images of turmoil, chaos, and affliction on an unimaginable scale. In the context of Luke 21, Jesus warns of a time of unparalleled distress, a time of testing and suffering that will shake the foundations of the world. To understand the Great Tribulation, we must immerse ourselves in the Scriptures. The Bible contains numerous references to tribulation, from the Old Testament to the book of Revelation. This concept is intertwined with the history of redemption and the manifestation of divine justice. Tribulation, in the biblical context, is not merely a punishment but also an opportunity for purification and refinement. Often, trials are seen as a way in which God works in the lives of His people, forging faith and resilience. Throughout the Scriptures, tribulation is linked to prophecies that point to a future in which God will restore and redeem His people. It is an integral part of the narrative of salvation, a reminder that even in the midst of trials, there is enduring hope. The idea that the words of Jesus in Luke 21 verses 23 to 24 may have had a historical fulfillment is a topic of intense debate among scholars and believers. In this section, we will explore examples of historical events that could be related to these verses and discuss their possible fulfillment in history. One of the most cited examples is the destruction of Jerusalem by the Roman army in AD 70. This event was accompanied by bloodshed and desolation that echoed the words of Jesus in Luke 21. Some argue that this devastation marked the fulfillment of the prophecy. Another significant event is the siege of Masada, where the Jews bravely resisted the Roman occupation. The Jewish revolt in general is closely related to the tribulation and distress that Jesus predicted. Besides these events, there have been numerous moments of persecution and tribulation for the Jewish people and Christians throughout history. Each of these episodes could be considered a possible fulfillment of the words of Jesus. The topic of the prophetic fulfillment of Luke 21 verses 23 to 24 has been the subject of debate for centuries. Some view these historical events as partial fulfillments, while others believe that the words of Jesus still have future relevance in events yet to come. What is essential to remember in the midst of this debate is that the Scriptures are filled with prophecies and words of warning. Regardless of how we interpret the fulfillment, the words of Jesus call us to vigilance and trust in God amid trials. After exploring the concept of the Great Tribulation and its possible historical fulfillment, it is essential to remember that even amid trials, the Bible offers a profound message of hope. In this section, we will focus on that message and how we can apply the verses of Luke 21 verses 23 to 24 to our lives today. Although Jesus warned of times of tribulation, He also offered a message of hope. As we delve deeper into the Bible, we find that this hope is a constant. Even in the darkest moments, the light of faith shines brightly. Tribulation is not merely a punishment, it is also an opportunity to find deeper meaning in our lives and a higher purpose in our experiences. It is often in times of struggle that we discover our true strength. Now, the question is, how can we apply these verses to our lives today? How can we maintain hope and trust in the midst of the trials we face in the world today? Faith plays a fundamental role in times of tribulation, reminding us that we are not alone. Community and prayer are sources of strength and comfort. Moreover, we must remember that tribulation is not the end of the story. The Bible speaks to us of a redemptive future, a time when every tear will be wiped away and every wound will be healed. Jesus also calls us to vigilance. While we cannot predict the future, we can be prepared and keep our faith strong. This will help us face any tribulation with hope and confidence. As we conclude this section, I invite you to reflect on how you can apply the message of hope amid tribulation to your life. Consider how your faith and trust in God can be a beacon of light amid the darkness. As we come to the end of our journey of understanding Luke 21 verses 23 to 24 and the concept of the Great Tribulation, it is essential to recap the key points we have explored and at the same time offer a call to reflection and prayer. On this journey, we have explored the historical and literary context of Luke 21, understanding how the words of Jesus relate to the Scriptures and the time in which He lived. Then we explored the signs and wonders mentioned in the passage, considering their profound significance and biblical prophecy. And so, we come to the end of our journey through Luke 21 verses 23 to 24 and the deep exploration of the Great Tribulation in the biblical context. I sincerely thank all of you for dedicating your time to this video and for embarking on this journey of understanding with us. This channel is a space where the community gathers to explore biblical themes and reflect on the Word of God. Your opinions and comments enrich our discussions and help us grow spiritually. If you haven't already, we invite you to join our community. Subscribe to receive more inspiring content and stay updated on our upcoming biblical explorations.